So when are we getting the new shirts, Fuzzy?
I'm not sure. They should be coming soon, though.
Let's do this. Let's make sure the first shirt that we get hot off the presses goes to Peter. We'll all sign it for him,
All right.
including Scruffy, because our intern who replaced yesterday by a kid named Killer Joe who destroyed for me. Just did a great job on the phones. All right. I don't know who we're looking up there. Is this some of the Disney Channel girls? Yeah. Yeah, there's a certain amount of sex involved in even the Disney Channel girls. They're really being sold there as young heartthrobs.
Well, I think they're being called the Cheetah Girls. You should love them, Hicks. Because he likes jerking off to underage girls.
Didn't understand what cheetah had to do with that, so I thought there was wordplay on cheetah. All right. This got brought up to me yesterday, too. Have you ever noticed this? There's some things in life that should be fun and then become pressurized. It's almost like if you're cooking for your family or your friends, and then as soon as some people are invited over, it suddenly now it becomes a dinner party and it's a lot more pressure than it should be. And this seems to happen, well, with a party at your house. How many times have you had a party at your house, but then as soon as it's like a cocktail party, you're being judged on whether or not this is a good party? I'm
Right.
sorry, I have alcohol and shelter. How is this not a good party? If it's not a good party, everybody's at fault here. The same way for the food thing. Why is it sometimes it's okay? Oh, we're having food, stop on by, but then suddenly like the Hendersons are coming by Friday night at 10. And now all of a sudden there's fucking pressure on everybody to put together a nice event.
Oh, yeah. It's with me, it would be like if we were all going somewhere and I got picked to drive. Like, even if we're going out somewhere fun and it's supposed to be a fun night, if I got picked to drive, I would be a nervous wreck about getting us there on time and, like, not getting lost on the way there. Making sure I knew exactly how to get everyone there.
And playing the right music.
Well, that I would have to leave up to somebody else.
How about for you, Davey Mac?
My wife and I will always start every Nintendo game very amicable. Hey, let's have some laughs. Let's play some Nintendo against each other. And by at least the third race, say if we're playing a driving game, it's fuck you. You know the cheat codes and this and that. And it turns into this pressure, anxiety. And a lot of times one of us will throw the controller and not talk to the other.
Paul, we're talking about things that should be easygoing, but then suddenly get made into a lot of pressure.
Like you were saying earlier, Ronnie, you have 8 people over for a little dinner party. It becomes a struggle and a stressful thing. You can have 50, 60 people over for a barbecue out back, and it's a breeze. You grill, a couple coolers, and it's all good.
That's a really, really a good point. That it seems like you can make it so big that the people start to take a certain amount of responsibility for themselves. Particularly if you say, hey, help yourself. Make sure you get over there and make yourself some hamburgers.
Yeah. You delegate the grill.
Yeah.
You can't be grilling the entire time. You have your own beer to drink.
Well, remember we had that big Rockahula Luau. It seemed like me and Hard Rock Johnny just stood outside next to the grill the entire night because I'll throw up, hostess of the party was too busy with other things to make sure that her pig was done properly. Now, people can die from that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to run around. Johnny and I are going to make sure that every part of that pig is cooked and cooked the way it should be.
You saved lives.
I don't know. I never really got a chance to go inside. So I don't know what took place inside. I went through once, but everybody was into something else. Luke, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, guys. Christmas and Thanksgiving, every year, way too much pressure.
Yes, that's a really good point. It's a nightmare what we've done to ourselves with those two holidays in this country. Jay, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, buddy. Honestly, trying to have a kid, first it was really fun, get our temperature right. We were hanging it every day. And then after a few months, it's not working. And then a few more months, it's still not working. Going to stupid doctors and fertility clinics and stuff like that. And it gets really hard after that.
Yeah, I've had friends go through that, and it becomes a nightmare very, very, very quickly if they don't start getting as pregnant as they want to, particularly on the woman. And then the guy gets very defensive, where he'll be screaming, "I know nothing's wrong with my juice. Maybe if you didn't fuck around so much when you were younger." Like people get crazy with each other. Brian, you're on Fez.
Yeah, what do you want for dinner, honey? You decide. Okay, well, Chinese. No, we had Chinese. Oh my God, it becomes a big fight.
Now, Brian, this is an interesting thing because two guys will be driving down the road and they'll go, "What do you want to eat?" "Oh, I'll go anywhere close," and that's the end of it. But if you're with a woman, and even the guy, I would blame this on women, but guys get just as bad as start to act like, "I don't know what I want to eat. What do you?" And if somebody would just say, "You know what, even though we ate a pizza the last 7 straight meals, I'm going to get a pizza," then that's what you would get. And guys will do that. "I don't care. Fish. Let's eat raw fish and right out of a fucking dumpster." You don't care when it's two guys hanging out together. But when you're with a woman, you start that, "But I want you to be happy." That's what I'm saying. I want you, for once in your life, to make a decision. And you go back and forth and you turn this thing into a fucking nightmare. And every guy and chick will do it.
Women should be the dinner masters. Just, you do it. You decide, and we'll go along.
I would say that you and Pepper would go along. If Casey brings it up, you'll have a problem. That is the weird fucking dynamic between men and women. If Pepper said, "Let's eat Greek food," if Casey says it, you're like this. "What do I look Greek? You ever fucking see me once? How long have you known me? I'm just very fucking curious. Have you ever known me to go out and get Greek food on my own? Because I don't do it." You will find that fucking reason to turn everything bad. Here is Ethan. Ethan, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Something that used to be a lot of fun for me has turned into a big pressure, almost a chore, is playing in bands. When it started out, you used to play music that you liked, and it was just you and your buddies hanging out in a garage playing music, and then pretty soon you're playing bars, and then it's, you have to make compromises, and you begin to hate it.
Well, it's a very good point there because, let's face it, unless you happen to be in U2 or Coldplay, who cares what the set is this weekend? You know what I'm saying? You're just supposed to be having a good time playing. Yeah. And the same thing happens like on a softball team where somebody be like, "You know who fucks up?" And you're like, "You know what? We're playing softball."
It's not real.
If I got a softball trophy, I would throw it out the window before I got home because it's embarrassing.
It's as bullshit as LARPing.
Yeah.
You're just pretending that you're Barry Bonds.
You cost us that Civil War battle.
Yeah, you're not. You really aren't the same thing.
You're not anything. And it's the same way being in a band. You guys aren't going anywhere. It's like when our friends all started fucking fighting Crankcase. You're like, "Why are you fighting? You only get together for the occasional Ron and Fez gig. What could possibly go wrong with this?"
I mean, you're not going to screw up Ellie Woman. You've played it 35 times.
Well, I just got in it down about an hour ago.
Maybe we should
Rebel. Well, yeah, it's okay. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Here is Lorenzo. You're on Fez.
Buddies, friends and family coming in from out of town to stay with you. It's so much pressure, especially if they're coming to New York from somewhere else, and you feel like you got to take them to like the coolest clubs or bars, and they're always entertained and having fun.
Well, I have people that come to see me in New York that it's as easy as could possibly be. And then other people, I feel like I'm sitting there trying to sell New York on. And I had, niece once said, "I couldn't live here." And I said, "Who fucking said you could?" No one's you're fucking staying here for 2 days. What do you mean you couldn't live here?
It's rude.
No, first of all, you couldn't afford to live here. Let's get that out of the fucking way. You don't ever have to worry about living in Manhattan. That's not going to come up in your life. But some people are just a bother to be with, and other people are just, the easiest people in the world to get along with. But you should never feel pressure because people are using your house instead of a hotel room. People would say this to me too, and I used to get it when I lived in Florida. I would have relatives come down to Florida and go like this: what are we going to do today? Have you, you know what our schedule is? What are we going to do today? I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to fucking work. Whatever you do is on yourself. But somebody's got to fucking pay for what you call the free hotel and free food and lodging. It can't go on like this forever.
I even feel pressure when I go down to my in-laws and they're hosting me. I feel pressure of having to talk to them and,
Well, we brought this up
converse.
too. You always felt pressure sexually, like something that should be fun.
Yeah, it's true.
First times were always bad for you.
Yeah, always. I never get it up. The first, 2 or 3 times. Not even just the first time. I usually don't get it up the first few times. And so I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Then after a while, if the chick has still stayed with me, then I will bang them.
So your list should be longer?
Yeah,
But
there are chicks who I could have A, had a one-night stand with, or B, a prospective girlfriend that I failed as a man, I guess is what you could say. And so as a result, I never went out with them. But, God works in mysterious ways.
But was that the worst experience you could ever have?
It was horrible, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was this one chick, I still remember her name, Tara, and we got drunk after the bar. She's real hot, real small, petite.
She must have been hideous.
No,
I
she
can't
wasn't.
understand. Then why weren't you? Did she feel like it's because she was hideous?
Now, do you think the lead singer from the Cranberries is hideous? Because that's what she looks like.
Oh, you got me there.
Really?
No,
So
I
your
have no
fault.
idea what she looks like. But did she think, hey, is there something wrong with me?
Yeah, she did. In fact, we tried it twice. We got drunk. We tried banging. I couldn't get it up. She's like, well, you're too drunk. Second time, I was more sober. I was a little buzzed, but still couldn't get up again.
Why don't
because-
you just fucking not to have the alcohol?
Well, no, because the second time was not about. It was about the pressure.
Hex, you ever experienced this thing he's talking about?
Oh yeah, once. That's why I rock Viagra's if I was trying to fucking.
You're 25.
Broad.
Pops has Viagra.
You're 25.
At least he's getting the good stuff. I still do like the horny goat weed and whatever.
Todd, hey, I think we saw that, don't we? Todd, we got something for you? We already talked to you.
Yeah, okay. The worst fights my wife and I ever have are on family vacations. Growing up, there were 6 of us, and by the end of it, nobody would fucking talk to anybody. They're supposed to be the best week of the year, and they're horrible. They're stressful. They're awful.
Yes, sometimes we put, the whole travel thing is a bad idea. Sometimes it's like a family vacation used to be better when it was just like go to the shore, go to the mountain, go to the lake. But when it became we're all traveling across the country, we're going to see this unbelievable thing, we're going to Europe, that's when it becomes we're not having as much fun as we thought we were going to have. This is terrible. We're an awful family. Nothing is going our way.
My dad totally Clark Griswold Ireland for us. And that should have been the trip of a lifetime. And we had to hit Killarney, into Galway, into Belfast, finish it up with Dublin in fucking 6 days, Mr. B. I mean, Mooch knows there are 4 different entirely geographic points on the map. But he had to see those 4 cities. It was like, come on, Daddy. Let us sit around for a little bit.
But who was paying?
Daddy.
You ought to fucking jump in the back seat and shut your goddamn drunk mouth.
You should
You
take
put your limp dick back there and just ride along like you've been told. Pat, you're on Run of Fez.
Called Pat?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Yeah, I took a few shrooms with my girl and my cousin on New Year's, and we were having a good time. And then the more people that showed up, all that pressure hit me, and I started to freak out. And it was a really bad time.
Did you ever trip again?
Oh, not since. No, it was only on
See,
New Year's. So it was like
never fucking give up on a bad trip. It almost makes you a quitter. If you have that bad trip, I just feel like you need to ride it out one more time. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm wrong about it. Not every time you're going to think you can fly. I'm just going to say that. Plus, I don't want to be with I'm like Dave. I don't like the fucking heavy plans. That makes me original around here, different around here. But if everybody else is happy, I'm going to go along with it. But what's wrong with improvisation? Isn't that what the fucking people would do in life? You improv? Isn't that what life is? Tom, you're on Fez. Tom, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie B? Hey, this pressure is only if you let it be pressure. I was in this dinner group with my wife and a whole bunch of couples, and all these douchebags would spend all this time preparing some Italian meal or something from Mexico, and And we just had some beer and some barbecue. We just cooked it up, and it was the best time. You know, these people make it too much pressure for no reason. I don't understand it.
Well, you know, this is really an interesting thing because I've gone to that, like a dinner party before, and the people will try a new recipe. And you're like, and then they're all freaked out because something didn't come up. And you're like, you have to have a family fucking go-to thing, which is, let's face it, always the best food in the world. Indian Bob, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie B. I would say going to the casino because when you think about it, it's like, hey, I'm going with a bunch of guys, I'm having a good time, and then maybe you start losing a little bit. You don't know when to quit. You don't know when to, if you're up, to walk away. It just doesn't become fun after a while, and it sounds like a good idea when you start.
You know, it's really perfect there. You got to know who you're going to a casino with. It's the same as tripping because, all right, let's suppose some guy drops fucking 5 figures that you're with. You didn't fucking tell him. You could have told him the nickel is dime through a fucking weekend. So now you got to hear his problems about what am I going to do? How am I going to... You're like, motherfucker, don't go ruining my time. You fucking push the money in. I didn't put a gun up to your head. Bet with your fucking head for a change.
You also have to go to the same people who have the same wallet size. Because I went one time to AC in Atlantic City with one of my friends who had so much more money than me. So he's at the good tables and I'm at $5.
That don't bother me though, because you're gonna go. To me, it's like bet the way you want to bet. But because I've been with the fucking places with real fucking degenerates, people there out to ruin their life. They did okay with it. Other guys, they drop fucking 600 and you got to hear about it the whole way back. Like, shut up. What did you think? We came to Wintown? Everybody wins here?